In this session, we will discuss about the superposition of the wave and the interference. What is the definition of superposition? Superposition means when two waves meet at certain point, then the displacement of wave which is produced due to a combination of the two waves is equals to algebraic sum of the two. Like example, if I say one wave is having an amplitude of 2 centimeter and the other wave is having an amplitude of 3 centimeter and they meet at certain point. So as a result, when they combine with each other, in this case, when the two waves join or the two waves combine, the resultant wave will be equal to algebraic sum of the two. Like example, if this is 2 centimeter, this one is 3 centimeter, so 2 plus 3. So algebraic sum of the two will be 5 centimeters. So as a result, what we will get? We will get a higher wave of higher amplitude, and this type of interference, this type of combination when two waves combine, we call that as a constructive interference. But second thing, what might happen when the two waves combine with each other, they might cancel out the effect of each other or they might reduce the effect of each other. So this is 2 centimeter and we have the other wave which is 1 centimeter. But in opposite, one is crest, the other one is trough. So when these two waves will combine with each other, like a wave of 2 centimeter and the wave of 1 centimeter, so when they are combining with or joining with each other, as a result, what they do, they try to cancel out the effect of each other. As a result, when they try to cancel out the effect of each other, we'll get a wave of lower amplitude, and this type of combination or this type of interference is known as destructive interference. So when the two waves increase the effect of each other, we call constructive interference. But if two waves decrease the effect of each other, we call that as a destructive interference. Maybe you have experienced this constructive and destructive interference. Example, in a school assembly, when everyone is saying the same song or anthem, as a result, what you will find that the sound appear to be louder. So why the sound appear to be louder? Because everyone is producing a same note or same vibration. As a result, when the two or more waves combine, they give rise to a wave of higher amplitude. So that's why you will observe, or you will hear a louder sound. Whereas two waves, when they combine with each other, they try to cancel out the effect of each other. Like example, any function or a gathering, when everyone is saying a different word, as a result, what happened? The overall sound cancel out each other, and what we call this type of interference, we call that as a destructive interference. So constructive interference when they increase the effect of each other, and destructive interference when they reduce or decrease the effect of each other. So example, if we have two waves which are produced, one is produced from source 1 S1, so crest trough, crest trough, crest trough, and then crest, and another one is produced from source 2, crest trough. So you can see in this case crest is joining with a crest. So if crest join with a crest, like one wave crest join with another crest, so as a result, what happened? These two waves will interfere, and as a result, when these two waves will interfere, they will increase the effect of each other. As they increase the effect of each other, so we call that interference as a constructive interference. And if these two are the sound wave, like example, if this was a sound wave and this is also a sound, so what we'll observe here, we'll observe a loud sound. But if it is a light wave, like one is a light wave, another one is also a light wave, then what we'll observe a bright light at this point. So the increase, they will, when they combine with each other, as a result of the combination, they will increase the effect. If it's a sound, it will be louder. If it's a light wave, it will be brighter at this point. Even if like infrared radiation or heat radiations are there, like this is infrared and the other one also infrared. So two heat radiation, when they combine constructive interference, so it means they will produce more heat, or there will be a high temperature at this point. And second thing, what might happen, that when the two waves combine with each other, they might have a destructive interference, like crest of the one wave join with the trough of the other. So when crest of the one wave join with the trough of the other, as a result of this combination, like crest combined with trough, so if crest combined with the trough, as a result they try to cancel out. Either they will completely cancel out or they reduce the effect. Like in what case they will completely cancel out the effect of each other? If they are exactly opposite and same amplitude, like this is 3 centimeter, this is also 3 centimeter, so as they combine with each other, they completely cancel out the effect of each other, or they might reduce the effect. Like example, this is 2 centimeter, this is 1.5 centimeter, so as a result when they combine, we'll get only 0.5 centimeter amplitude. So this is also a destructive interference. When the two waves reduce the effect of each other, cancel out the effect of each other, we call that as a destructive interference. So if these two are the sound wave, like example, source 1 is a sound wave, source 2 is also a sound wave, so they decrease the effect of each other. So it means either we will have a soft sound if they reduce the effect, or there will be no sound if these are the sound waves. But if these are the light waves, if they completely cancel out the effect of each other, so we'll have a completely dark here, because the two light rays cancel out the effect of each other. Or we can also say there will be dim light, because if light read there but they reduce the effect, they will be dim. If they completely cancel out, it will be completely dark. And if these are the heat radiations or infrared radiations, so as a result of these infrared radiation, what will happen, because of destructive interference, so we'll have a low temperature, or it will be cold at this point. So when two waves combine with each other, they might increase the effect of each other, they might decrease the effect of each other. If they increase the effect of each other, if it's a sound wave, it will be louder, light wave, it will be brighter, and heat waves or infrared, it will be hotter. But if they cancel out the effect of each other, destructive interference occur, then as a result, what we'll see, we'll observe it's a sound wave, then there will be no sound, or a low sound will be there. If it's a light wave, then it will be either completely dark or dim. And if it's a heat radiation, then it will be cold at that point, or lower temperature. Is it clear, the concept of superposition? The basic concept of superposition of the two waves? Any question or a doubt till this point? So whenever interference occur, the combination or superposition of the wave occur, either it will be a constructive or it will be a destructive interference. Now, what is the condition for constructive interference and condition for destructive interference? So if there is a constructive interference, constructive interference means the two waves increase the effect of each other. So example, in terms of part difference means in terms of, we can say the wavelength, the difference between the two waves, we call that as a part difference. Example, this is source 1 is producing wave, 1 wavelength, 2 wavelengths, 3 wavelengths, 4 wavelengths, 5 wavelengths. So there are 5 wavelengths from source 1 to point P. Then from source 2 to point P, so 1 wavelength, 2, 1, 2, 3 wavelengths, 4 wavelengths, 5 wavelengths. Or first I will start with a simple 5 wavelength, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wavelength. So this also have a 5 wavelength distance from source to the point. The part difference refers to a difference between the two waves in terms of wavelength. So what is the part difference here? One wave complete 5 wavelength, the other also completed 5 wavelengths. So part difference is 5 lambda minus 5 lambda. So 5 lambda minus 5 lambda, the part difference is 0 lambda. So whenever the part difference is 0 lambda, it means either crest will join with a crest or the trough will join with a trough. So what kind of interference will occur when the part difference is 0 lambda? It will be a constructive interference. Because when part difference is 0 lambda, the same phase of the wave will combine with each other, or crest combine with a crest, or the trough combine with a trough. Same way, if we have one of the wave is covering 5 wavelength, another one is 5.5. Like example, one wavelength, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5.5. So now you can see, I will use another color. So that is one wavelength, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5.5. So basically what is happening, the one wave is covering 5.5 wavelengths. The one of the wave is 5.5, another one is 5. So what is the difference in the wavelength? What is the part difference here? The part difference is 5.5 wavelength minus 5 wavelength. So as a result, when these two waves will combine with each other, the part difference will be 5.5 wavelength minus 5 wavelength. So it will be 0.5 wavelength or half wavelength. So whenever we have a half wavelength, it means the crest of the one wave is joining with the trough of another. So if the crest join with the trough, like a crest of the one wave combined with the trough of the other, so as a result, the two waves cancel out the effect of each other and will get a destructive interference. So for destructive interference, the part difference should be half wavelength. Whereas constructive interference, the part difference should be one complete or zero wavelength or one complete wavelength. So when we generalize this, when we write a journal formula, if the part difference is n lambda, then what kind of interference will be there? Constructive. And what is the value of n? N can be 0, it can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3, it can be 4, and so on. So n is a whole number from 0 till infinity, like, but it should be a whole number. And then what is the condition for destructive interference? When two or more waves will combine with each other, the part difference should be half wavelength or 1.5 or 2.5. So we can say the value should be n plus half lambda for destructive interference. This is the equation for destructive interference, that the part difference should be n plus half lambda, where n can be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if the part difference is like half wavelength, 1.5 wavelength, 2.5 wavelength, 3.5 wavelength, then there will be a destructive interference. So value of n vary from 0, 1, 2, and so on. Is it clear the condition for constructive and destructive interference for the two waves according to superposition principle? So example, now some questions. say this is one wavelength, two wavelengths, three wavelengths, four wavelengths, and then 4.5. Then one wavelength, I will use another color. Say this is one wavelength, two wavelength, three wavelength, and four wavelengths. So the orange is four wavelengths, where the red is 4.5 wavelengths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4.5. So what is the part difference here? What is the part difference between the two waves? So part difference is basically 4.5 wavelength minus 4 wavelength. So the part difference is actually 0.5 wavelength. So if the part difference is half wavelength, like it is half, 1.5, 2.5, so what kind of interference will occur? Constructive or destructive? So yeah, that's good. It will be a destructive interference. That's they will reduce the effect of each other. And what is the application of constructive or destructive interference where we are using it? Maybe you have used microwave oven. So in a microwave oven, what happened? Like example, this is a microwave, and you use it to heat up the food, and there is also a turntable inside. The food is continuously rotating, the turntable is rotating. We place food on the turntable and the food also rotated. What is the reason? What is the concept behind why the food must rotate? Why not like we just place the food and switch on the microwave oven so it should be hot? The food should become warm as it is absorbing the microwaves. So what is the reason for that? What is the concept behind using a turntable in the microwave? Because basically what happened, like example, this is a food and here is the source of the microwave. So when this microwave is emitting out radiation, so and it is emitting out radiation in all the direction. So when these radiation travel, like example, the radiation travel, it hit and then it bounced back. And then one of the radiation is directly moving from the food, from the source to the food. So these two waves combine at this point. So whenever two waves combine at a certain point, then it depends on, there will be a combination of the two waves. So if at this point, like example, if this point P is there, so if at this point when the two waves combine with each other, if the part difference is like n lambda, then there will be a constructive interference. And if there's a constructive interference, it means that will be a hot spot. But that second possibility is there. They might have a part difference of n plus half lambda. So if they have the part difference of n plus half lambda, as a result, what will happen? There will be a destructive interference. So there will be a destructive interference means that that will be a cold spot. And this happen for a microwave, like some region there is a constructive interference and some region there is a destructive interference. So if this is a cold spot, this will not become warm because the two microwaves are cancelling out the effect of each other. So how we can overcome this constraint? So for this, to avoid the hot and the cold, to avoid these cold spots, what we do, we have a turntable. At the bottom of this microwave, we have a turntable, so which continuously rotate the food. So as a result, when the food rotate, this point P, which is example a cold spot, but because it is rotating, it is changing the position, so it will come in a region where it will have a hot spot, like, or where it will have constructive interference of the wave. As the food is also rotating, so that region of the food which was originally at a cold spot, as it move, it will reach a region where it will become, or it will be in the hot spot. So that's why there should always be a turntable in the microwave oven to avoid these cold spots. Is it clear the application, the concept of microwave oven for avoiding destructive interference in different regions? So example, this is all about like if what is the definition of the coherent wave? The coherent wave means if two waves are produced with the same frequency and they have a constant phase difference. Like example, this is source 1 and this is source 2. Every time source 1 is giving out a crest, an example source 2 is also giving out a crest having a same frequency. So what we call these two waves, we call them as coherent. So coherent wave means they have a same frequency and the constant phase difference between them. And when they combine with each other, as a result, they will produce constructive and destructive interference. As you can see here, this image might not be very clear to you, but you can see some regions. Like these are the these are the wave fronts. So some region, the wavefront appear to be higher in amplitude, high amplitude. But some regions you can see like this region, you can see this part, you can see this part. So in these parts, what it appear that the amplitude of the wave is very low or minimum or zero. So what does it mean? This region is known as a minima. These are the sources. This is source 1 example and this one is source 2. So these two sources are emitting out waves in all the direction. As a result, when these waves combine, some region they have a constructive interference, some region they have a destructive. So region where they cancel out the effect of each other, that region will be minima, like zero amplitude or low amplitude. And the region where they increase the effect of each other, what you will get? You will get maxima. So a pattern of minima and maxima is produced by the two waves which are having a constant phase relation. And this is in case of water, but this can also be done in case of light. Like if we have a light source, so this is also known as a double slit experiment, which we will discuss in detail later in this chapter. Example, we have source, the wave which are passing through a narrow gap. As a result, when the waves are passing through a narrow gap, they will spread out, and spreading of the wave around the obstacle or near the gap, that is called diffraction. So the wave will spread out from source 1 and source 2, and as it passes from source from this gap, as a result the two waves spread out, and this spreading of the wave we call diffraction. And after diffraction, what will happen? These waves will reach the screen. So on the screen, these waves will combine with each other. So as a result, when these rays or these waves will combine with each other, what we will see, example, if these are the light waves, like this is a light wave and this is also a light wave. So what we will see or what we'll observe a maxima. Maxima means one of the region will be bright, then there will be dark. Then the region will be bright, then there will be dark. And same way, bright, dark, bright, dark. So continuously what will happen, it will produce a pattern of a bright and dark regions or bright and dark lines. So when these waves will combine with each other on the screen, as a result, if these are the light waves, what we'll observe a combination of a bright and dark lines or fringe, which we also call fringes. So some region it will be bright and some region it will be dark. So what it shows, why some regions are dark and some regions are bright? Because of interference. If there is a constructive interference, it will be a bright region. But if there is a destructive interference, dark region. Again, constructive interference, bright. Destructive interference, dark. So a combination of a bright and dark fringes will be there. And due to this, we observe, like, what are the reason for that? That is due to the combination of the waves. Some region they have a constructive and some region they have destructive interference. So the part difference and interference, as we know, we already discussed this part. If the part difference is n lambda, then or one wavelength or two wavelengths or zero wavelength, it will be a constructive interference. But if the part difference is half lambda or 1.5 lambda or 2.5, 3.5, there will be a destructive interference. So simply calculate and measure the part difference, then calculate value for the half wavelength and compare the part difference with a half wavelength to see whether it is a multiple of half. So if the part difference is like even number multiplied by half, this is also a maxima. Or if it is an odd number multiplied by half, it will be minima. Or it's better like just work out if the part difference is lambda, then it will be a constructive interference. Lambda by 2, 3 by 2 lambda. Because if it is lambda, 2 lambda, 3 lambda and so on, constructive. And lambda by 2, 3 by 2 lambda, 5 by 2 lambda, it will be a destructive interference. So in this question, like as you can see, there's a ripple tank which is having two dippers. So these are the dippers of these are the sources S1 and S2. And vibrate exactly in the same way. So they're vibrating in the same way. Coherent water wave of wavelength 2 centimeter. So wavelength of the water wave is 2 centimeter. X and Y are the 2 points. As you can see, there is point X and there is point Y. These are the 2 points in the ripple tank. The distance from the two dippers are shown in the diagram. Tell if constructive or destructive interference take place at X and at Y. So how to work out either a constructive or destructive interference? First, we should know this length. First, we should know this distance. Like I should know the distance from S1, source 1 to X, and then I should know the distance from source 2 to X. So how I can know this distance from source 1 to X? As you can see, this is making a right angle triangle. This is 6 centimeter. This is 6 centimeter and this one is 7 centimeter. So one is 6 centimeter. The other one is 7 centimeter. And we want this distance. So if we apply Pythagoras theorem that we have the base, we have the perpendicular, we need hypotenuse. So hypotenuse square, like example, if I say this is x, so it will be x square is equals to hypotenuse square is equals to base square plus perpendicular square. So x square is equals to 6 square plus 7 square, and then x is equals 6 square is equals to 36 and 7 square is equals to 49, and then in a root we'll take, so 36 plus 49, so it will be 85, so under root 85. So x is equals to under root 85. So this one is under root 85, and we know because this is 6 and this is 7, so this is also under root 85. So what it shows, that both will cover the same distance from source 1. Both of them will cover the same distance. So if both of them will cover the same distance, it means what will be the path difference? How to work out the path difference? Because the distance from S1 to X, so from S1 to X is under root 85. We can simplify, we can write in decimal, but I did not simplify this. And we can also find for S2 to X, so S2 to X, that is also under root 85. So two distances are same. When we find the path difference here, so it is under root 85 minus under root 85, so path difference is 0. So whenever a path difference is 0, what kind of interference will occur at X? If the path difference is 0, yeah, that's good. So there will be a constructive interference. So at X, they will have a constructive interference because the path difference is 0. But for Y, what kind of interference is there at Y? How to work out? From S1 to Y, that is 16. But from S2 to Y, this distance we don't know. So again, we have to use the Pythagoras theorem, but this time for S1 to Y is known, which is 16. But from S2 to Y, that is, this is a base, and 6 plus 6, that is 12. And here 16, so it will be 16 square plus 12 square in a root, because that's the hypotenuse we are finding. So the path difference we want to calculate from distance from S2 to Y, it is under root 16 square plus under root 12. So that is equals, yeah, okay, good. So final is 20. So S2 to Y is 20. Now we need a path difference. It does not make difference to the final answer if we take S2Y minus S1Y, the difference. So this was 20 minus 20 minus 16. 20 minus 16 is 4. So this is 4 centimeter. It means the path differences in between them is 4 centimeter. But what is 4 centimeter in terms of wavelength? So what is 4 centimeter in terms of wavelength? As they mentioned, one wavelength is 2 centimeter. One wavelength is equals to 2 centimeter. So if there is a 4 centimeter, how much distance is there in the wavelength? In terms of wavelength, so it will be x. We cross multiply. So how many wavelengths are there? Yeah, so the x will be equal to 2 wavelengths. So it means the path difference between them is 2 wavelengths. So whenever a path difference, as I mentioned, if it is 0 wavelength, 1 wavelength, 2 wavelength, 3 wavelength, 4 wavelength, or so on, what kind of interference will occur between them? So again, it will be a constructive interference. So at point X and at point Y, there will be a constructive interference. If these are the sound waves, we'll observe a loud sound. If these are the light waves, we'll see a bright light. If these are the heat radiation, then we'll observe a high temperature. Is it clear, this example? Any doubt till this point regarding the phase difference, the path difference and the interference? So in exam, you will find questions in which you have to work out the path difference of the two waves. So superposition principle in exam, they ask to state superposition principle. So when two waves meet, the total displacement at any point is the sum of displacement of each or individual wave at that point. And if it is n lambda to 2 lambda, then it will be constructive, otherwise it will be destructive.